Jeffree Star is one of the most renowned makeup artists on YouTube, but it wasn't always like that. In fact, he is a prime example of how you can go from rags to riches in a matter of a few years. Just 10 years ago, the beauty vlogger barely had anything to his name, but these days he has managed to earn a net worth of around $80 million. With a net worth like that, he can afford to live a beyond lavish lifestyle, and he certainly doesn't let the opportunity go to waste. Whether he's decking himself out in the best of the best designer attire, driving around in the world's fanciest sports cars, or going on extravagant vacations to the most exotic locations, he loves living the high life. So, what does this colorful personality like to spend his millions on? Well, today we're going to take you on a journey to discover exactly what the makeup mogul enjoys splurging on. Stay tuned and prepare to be amazed. Number 10. Manicures. Jeffree Star always looks fabulous, from head to toe, nails included. Yes, Jeffree's nails are always manicured and perfect, thanks to his go-to manicurist, Yvette G, also known as Eve Nails. She's the genius behind his bedazzled manicures, and her magic certainly doesn't come cheap. It is estimated that Jeffree's manicures likely cost between $200 and $300. That means if he gets his nails done every other week, his nails likely cost him around $7,800 a year. That's a whole lot of money to be spending on just your nails alone, but that's nothing compared to how much he spends on his tattoos or jewelry. We'll take a deeper look at how much he spends on his bling and ink a bit later in the video, so keep watching. The amount will make your eyes water. Number 9. Shoes. As an icon in the beauty community, Jeffree never steps a foot out of the house if he's not rocking a designer pair. This makeup mogul has a shoe collection that most fashionistas could only dream of owning. From Christian Louboutin to Jimmy Choo to Gucci, Chanel, and even Balenciaga, Jeffree has a pair of every designer brand you can think of. Some of the more expensive shoes in his collection are a pair of Balenciaga Speed High Slip-Ons that retail for around $780 each, and Louboutin Harley-Enda boots that will set you back nearly $2,700. While commenting on his shoe collection once, the star admitted that he loves his Louboutins, and it was once his dream to own a pair. His dream undoubtedly came true, and he currently has more Louboutins in his closet than most people would own in a lifetime. Number 8. Tattoos. Jeffree Star is everything but ordinary, and he certainly isn't one to fade in a crowd. But the one thing that stands out about him, even more than his insanely colorful makeup and looks and his exuberant fashion sense, is his ink. The beauty mogul is covered in tattoos, and to have your entire body inked isn't exactly a cheap exercise. Now, while we don't know exactly how much this YouTuber spends on his tattoos, we do know that it's more than you'd imagine. According to reports, Jeffree had many of his tattoos done by his then friend Kat Von D. Kat's starting rate is $200 per hour, with a single portrait usually taking between 4 to 6 hours. By 2010, Jeffree mentioned that he had about 70 tattoos, assuming Kat charged him at the lower end of her hourly rate and took an average of 5 hours per tattoo, and also allowing for the fact that he has gotten a lot more ink since 2010, it's safe to say that Jeffree has spent somewhere between $70,000 and $100,000 over the years to get his body inked. Wow! Number 7. Handbags. No outfit is complete without a designer handbag. Or at least, that's how Jeffree Star sees it, considering he is rarely seen without one and certainly enjoys splurging on them every now and then. To give you an idea of how much the cosmetic star is willing to spend on handbags, he has been seen sporting a Hermes Birkin bag that retails for between $12,000 and $21,000. That's a lot of money, but it definitely doesn't stop there. Jeffree is also the owner of a Givenchy Mini Antigona handbag that costs about $1,800, a few Chanel boy bags that cost around $5,000 each, and the most expensive bag in his collection, a Hermes Niloticus Crocodile Himalaya Birkin that's reportedly worth an astonishing $379,200. Not to mention, back in 2016, Jeffree made a YouTube video where he decided to spoil himself with a Louis Vuitton haul. The haul saw him purchase a whopping 8 handbags, 2 scarves, 2 pairs of sneakers, amongst other things that added up to a shocking amount of nearly $35,000. Yes, when it comes to designer labels, Jeffree is far from shy, which brings us to the next thing this YouTuber loves spending on. Number 6. Designer clothes. By now you've probably realized that Jeffree loves throwing out cash on designer goods, which of course includes designer clothes. It would be impossible to work out exactly how much this star forks out for fashion, but just looking at some of his individual pieces, it undoubtedly is enough to make anyone's jaw drop to the floor. In the past, Jeffree has been spotted wearing a Moschino chain-link sweatsuit, which would cost him at the very least $1,750. He has also been seen in a powder pink Balmain blazer, which retails for no less than $2,400. You only need to take one look at his designer-laden Instagram shots to know that he surely loves indulging in fancy attire. But then again, looking fancy 24/7 always comes at a price, a high one at that. Number 5. Jewelry. In addition to Jeffree's amazing shoe and handbag collection, the one accessory you will always see him donning is expensive jewelry. The vlogger is often seen wearing a number of pricey jewelry pieces from the likes of Cartier, Gucci, Versace, and Louis Vuitton. That obviously leaves you wondering, exactly how much does he spend on his bling? Like the rest of his wardrobe, an exact amount is impossible to figure out. But he's been spotted wearing a Louis Vuitton nanogram cuff, which retails for around $660, as well as a Cartier love bracelet that cost him an astonishing $40,000. Not to mention, he's a lover of rings, and has posted photos in the past of him wearing a classic Versace ring that cost about $300, along with a Cartier Just un Clou nail ring that has a price tag of nearly $12,000. If you want to sparkle like Jeffree Star, be prepared to cough up. Number 4. Vacations. As a YouTuber, influencer, brand ambassador, and bona fide star, Jeffree certainly works hard, but he also plays hard as well. When it comes to vacations and holiday trips, the cosmetics tycoon does not hold back and is eager to shell out for an exclusive experience. Jeffree is far too fabulous to travel on a normal airline and instead invests in private jets, which, as you can imagine, costs a pretty penny. But that's just the start of his travel expenses. The YouTuber also likes to reach his destination in style by tossing out thousands on designer luggage alone. In fact, his luggage price tag is likely higher than most people's overall holiday experience. The star is owner of various Louis Vuitton suitcases, a Gucci backpack, and even a Chanel laptop bag that altogether cost him around $11,700. And that's only the luggage we know of. Needless to say, when he travels, he does so in style. Number 3. Car collection. Jeffree Star is a lot of things, but he surely isn't boring, and the same could be said about his car collection. He is the owner of not only some of the world's most expensive and luxurious cars, but he often gives his cars a makeover to make them even more elaborate and extravagant. His lavish car collection includes a Lamborghini Huracan, complete with a Barbie pink interior and exterior with white accents. If you were to buy the Huracan without any of the frills Jeffree added, it would cost you about $200,000. That's already pretty expensive, but it's still cheap compared to some of his other cars, such as the pink Rolls-Royce Wraith that the YouTuber owns. The car retails for around $317,000 without any of the customizations Jeffree had done. So, who knows exactly how much it all cost? With that said, he doesn't just splurge on fast cars for himself. He once made a video where he surprised his then boyfriend, Nathan Schwandt, with his dream car, an Aston Martin Vantage in lime essence. These models usually sell for about $155,000. That's truly a ton of cash to be spending on gifts for someone you love. But as you'll discover next, Jeffree doesn't just spend money on himself. Number 2. Charity. Jeffree might be renowned for living an extravagant lifestyle, but he doesn't just splurge on fancy cars, massive mansions, and expensive jewelry. He also puts his money to good use and has over the years donated an impressive amount of cash to charities close to his heart. Some examples of his charitable nature include the time he donated $20,000 to the Pulse victims' GoFundMe page for the horrific incident at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando in 2016, as well as when he donated a whopping $125,000 to the Los Angeles LGBT Center in 2018. It's, however, not just charities that have been on the receiving end of his philanthropy. In 2020, the YouTuber star decided to give $30,000 to one of his fans to help her cope with financial difficulties. Yes, Jeffree Star might have a big bank account, but he also has a big heart. Number 1. Property. If you've got a shoe and handbag collection as big as Jeffree's, you definitely need a property big enough to house all of it. It's no surprise that the makeup magnate is the owner of a luxe $1 million mansion. What might be surprising, however, is exactly how luxe the mansion is. In 2019, Jeffree and his then boyfriend Nathan Schwandt decided to purchase a massive 25,000 square foot home in the prestigious Hidden Hills, California. The guard-gated city that includes the homes of other well-known celebrities such as Drake, The Weeknd, Kris Jenner, John Stamos, Paul George, and even Jeffree's close friend, Linda Towell. The property reportedly cost the vlogger around $14.5 million, but many would consider it a good bang for your buck if you take a look at what the property includes. The house boasts 8 bedrooms, 13 bathrooms, 2 guest rooms, a 2-story commercial gym and spa, an underground wine cellar, plus an additional 4,700 square foot garage and 3,700 square foot barn, and much more. Few houses exist that can match the grandeur of this situated property. It's a house extravagant as the YouTuber himself. If you've ever wondered what it costs to live like Jeffree Star, well, now you know. So, which of these things would you spend your millions on if you were a famous YouTuber like Jeffree? Comment down below and share with us. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content like this.